Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. It's your boy Nick, the HOUTX trader here from Houston, Texas. Hey, thanks for stopping by for another edition of the market overview, where we are going to take a look at what the markets have done today, what we think they're going to do in the coming days, and how we are going to get set up so that we're prepared to take advantage of the market and play our edge. This, guys, is just for training. This is not financial advice. If you need financial advice, please go see a planner. And please do me a favor and help grow the YouTube channel by smashing that like and that subscribe button. If you have any comments, please comment below. I'll do my best to answer all your comments and or make another video to answer that comment if need be. So let's get into these charts, guys and gals. All right, here we go. So we're going to start off with Goldie today. All right, so we're going to start off on a higher time frame, on the daily time frame. Okay, and if we zoom back out, we can obviously see that this market has been bullish. It's been buying up. And if you think about the world and what's going on with the war and the BRICS and the new, gold should be buying up. It makes sense. But let's look at the last couple of days. It has been extremely aggressive. We knew that this was the target because this was liquidity, right? And so we knew that it was going to break that. And it sure the hell did. And it took off. So now what? So now what we can do, I've looked at this area over here to the left, and as you can see, I put in a square there. When you go to look on the daily time frame, that square is that wick, that daily wick. Okay, so now you know what the square is. We come down to like a 4 hour time frame. What I've done then is I've taken that area and I fibbed it, okay, from there to there. And since I'm trying to find a retracement, I'm fibbing it in the sell direction, right? So I'm fibbing it from the top to, come on, from the top down to the bottom of that box in this direction because I'm looking for a retracement. So I marked off the 78, 88.6 because that's our magical fib, right? And we can also look at the fib from the top all the way to the bottom of this because we're still working inside of this fib, right? So that is still the sell fib that we're inside of. And if we drag this all the way over so we can see it, we can see that we are now in that 88.6 area right here, and it's wicked above. It started like to close below. So it is giving us a couple different reasons to think that this is going to be the turnaround spot. It's the sell zone on that wick, and it's also the top of the 88.6 on the big sell wick. And we're extremely over purchased on the 4 hour RSI, which means everything below that will probably also be okay. And now if you look, we also have divergence. So in the 1 hour, we have a high. The price is getting higher as the RSI is getting lower. That is the definition of divergence. So we have a couple of confluences to think that, hey, let's start counting them. We have RSI overbought. We have divergence. We have two different fibs. So we're looking at four already, and we have the wicks above, the close below. We're looking at five different confluences of why we think this is going to turn around. And if you just see how aggressive this is, it would make sense that people are going to start to take profit, and this should start to sell off a little bit. If we can come in here, perhaps we could find some fibs that matches up with this TP zone to see if we can catch anything else. So yeah, I mean, if you look at this last move, this bull move, we're chasing a little bit, and that TP is right there, the 61.8. So I mean, that at this point, it's just putting a little bit extra sauce on top of there. But I am in a sell, and I am in a sell right up in this area here, right in that area. I'm not sure exactly what dollar mark I got it at, but I'm in there. I'm a TP1 there because being so aggressive, I don't expect to have a very large retracement. So I'm going to TP1 there, and then perhaps we can start to look for some buys. But we do want to keep runners all the way down because if we come back out to that higher time frame, let's say on the 8 hour, right? I'd really like to come back and test this 2060 area. So I want to take TP here, protect, and then see if we can't get a longer runner on this one. Being this aggressive, again, the larger or the more aggressive the move, the less of a pullback you can see. So then if we fib this then from the bottom to the top, that purple box that I want to see it 2060 is right at the 50%. So I like to see at least retrace 50% of this move, and then we'll reevaluate there. So that's the trade now. We're in gold sells. And that's it. So we look at dirty 30. Excuse me. This is, yeah, dirty 30. We come back out now. So again, our game is finding liquidity and targeting liquidity. This is the 8 hour. Let's just come down a bit to the 4 hour. So for liquidity, we had this nice double top. So this is a clear target that I want price to hit. This then is all these wicks on bottom, and it also is setting up a trend line from here to there. Okay, if we come down to, let's say, the 1 hour, we can see these bottoms, bottom, right? So when that trend line broke, you could have taken that trend line sell, and actually I did. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not a trend line trader. Let me just close this. So I closed it in very small profit, like 30 cents or something. I can't remember. Basically break even. And then it sold off, which is good to go because I wanted to make sure that I was sticking to my plan. My plan is this: there's liquidity. Liquidity just got broken. So now I have a reason to start buying now that the liquidity's been broken. I fib from bottom to top. I have my zone, the 78, 88.6. We are just a pip or two away from the 88.6. But I had my entry just a few pips above the 88.6. So I got wicked in. I'm in the trade now. And as you can see, I'm in profit. With this much aggression, maybe we'll have a pullback and then a retest and go. I'm not real sure on what it's going to do, but it is oversold. So so if we look at our confluences, right, let's start counting them out. We have the fib zone, we have liquidity being taken, we have divergent. There's three different ones. Those are the three main ones that I need to see to enter a trade, and we've got all three of the main ones. We did have a nice reaction, letting us know that there are some buyers in the game in this area. Unfortunately, that happened at 14:30 at the very end of the day, and basically it's going to go flat. So tomorrow, if you're not in this trade, perhaps you can try to find some sort of entry tomorrow. If this does come back down and gives us the tap, or if it on the smaller time frames it comes down, gets us in drawdown, but at the same time just starting to create a divergent, then you could enter a trade there. But I am in the trade. And again, TP1 is going to be this liquidity zone. And then we're going to let the runners run because this could set an all-time high. It's been very aggressive lately, and there's no reason why. There's no reason to start thinking now that it's not going to continue that aggression. So there is that move. Okay, dirty 30. On NASDAQ, I am also in a trade. So again, we know that it's been very aggressive the last few days, the last year for that matter. And so what we're going to try to do then is try to find buys. So I did play the double bottom here. I wasn't intending it to be a quote double bottom trade. What I was doing was this, fibbing from this low to this high, right? And there's my zone. I do like the fact that it wicked below and closed above like this. That long wick lets me know that was getting liquidity, and it did pick up liquidity that it needed because it closed so high. So it closed back above our zone. So I'm excited about that. I am in the trade, and let's see if we can find some confluences on a smaller time frame. So we obviously have the oversold RSI, we have the fib zone, and we have what I would consider liquidity off of this low and this wick. So there's not perfect. It's not picture perfect like it was on 30 where it's setting up, but this is an area where buyers would set in. And you do have this gigantic candle here, this huge engulfing bull candle. But you got to understand that this wick came down and cleared that bull candle. So this bull candle is really not in play because this sell candle canceled that out. So therefore, when the bottom of that got cleared is where you can see the market started to turn around. So then you could also say, well, that's also the order block because banks are now putting in orders here. All right, that's what this is. This is the banks inserting money and people inserting money that led to this push off and go. Okay, so the market came back down and retested that order block. And actually, if you really want to look, this whole consolidation could be considered an order block where the banks where I'm guessing, because I'm not a bank, but I'm guessing they're putting in money here and it comes off, let the market come down, they insert some money. So there's buying here. Every time this comes down, the banks are inputting more money. Bing, bing, bing. And then it shot off when they dropped the bomb right there. Okay. And it came back down to retest that area. So if this trade loses, if it does lose, it is what it is. We had to take a shot. We had to take a chance on it. And then we'll just buy back at this lower buy zone here. Okay. Because if we think about it, really what's setting up now is setting up liquidity. So if this trade does push off from here, then there's a very high possibility that two things are going to happen. It's going to come up to this 236 area or come in here and then target this liquidity and then go, or it's just going to go. I mean, this could be the liquidity grab that it needs and it just goes to all-time highs again. This right here is all-time high. All right. This is all-time high right there. So there's no reason to think it can't just keep doing this. So it comes back down, tests the area, and goes again. So I'm willing to take that risk and not over leverage. And if it does fail, that's not, I don't want it to fail, but if it does, I'll just be rebuying back down here. So there are those two trades. The other things that I am in, let's see. I did take I am still in the EJ trade. Somebody from WhatsApp's calling me. Hello, you're live on YouTube. He hung up. Okay, so EJ. So I did take this other entry back on EJ. All right, this first one got taken out, and I just entered again there. And this first one here actually got taken out too. So I'm only in one trade now on EJ, and it's right there, and I'm in profit. So we're good to go there. GU. I don't know if I told you guys about the GU, but I'm in GU. And the reason why I'm in GU is this. It's because I see this this area here. I have it in purple. It's supposed to be in green as a liquidity area because I see all those tops. And so what I was expecting was that the price would come up and break through all of these tops. Okay. Break these tops here. And I wanted it to hold this as resistance. So we're in the 78, 88.6 area. And so I took that sell right there after it broke these tops. And as soon as I did, it started rejecting. So hopefully we're in a good situation there. As you can see on the 2 hour and the 1 hour, we are overbought. So that is adding some of the confluences. So again, we have a fib zone, we have liquidity being taken out, and we have the RSI, and we're not over leveraging, and we have a good R to R. So our stop loss is right in there. And then if we look on the higher time frame, our TP should be below all of these wicks, because if that's liquidity on the top side, it just got taken out. Well, guess what this is right here? This is liquidity on the bottom side. So our TP1 will be here. All right. That's our TP1, which is a 3-to-1 trade. And then we'll let these runners go, because if we come back out a little bit, right, where's the next block of liquidity? Sitting here. Okay. It's sitting right there. I don't know if it's going to get all the way down there. It could find this area right here, which is, you can see, is the 50% on the big fib. And look how that's also support and resistance, right? So if we look, that's a clean zone because we had support, it pushed off, broke through, resistance, right? Resistance, broke through, but it just gives us a little zone. I mean, it's not perfect, but that could be the area that we're looking for to final TP. But again, we want to leave a runner to get down there. So if we come back out to the daily, just to double check real quick on the daily. Yeah, so that seems to make sense, right? We caught that entry. We're hoping it breaks this liquidity down here and then runs to this area there, which is a 50% fib. And again, I do like this area where this top meets this bottom, meets all this. So this is the kind of the area where I want to see it get into. All right. So there's that. And I think I also took a sell on UCAD. Yes, I did. And it looks like it looks like I'm in a little bit of drawdown, but we're just playing this order block here. And we're hoping that it comes back up. It did give us the Elliott wave. All right. So push up. 1, 2, okay, 3 push. And it's starting, looks like the momentum is starting to die out. So I'd hope to see a good close and break below these candles, then maybe a retracement and then go. So we're not exactly sure what's going to do now, but I'm willing to play that order block there and see if we continue on this sell. Right. If we come back out on the daily, we can see it just plays around in this zone. So maybe it's a little bit risky because this is the top of the zone and this is clearly the bottom of the zone, and we're kind of in the middle. But again, I think that we can come back down. That's why I took the trade. Okay, I think that's it. That's the EJ, the UCAD, and the GU that I'm in. And we'll just peek at the crypto world real quick. Bitcoin starting to sell off. There's right on the TP. Look at that, a TP extension. I don't know how the hell I came up with that TP extension because that fib is in the middle of no man's land. Yeah, let's just let's delete that fib. But there it goes. It sold off a little bit, and if we come back out, that is the daily. If we look at a bigger picture, I mean, it's still up there, man. That was actually all-time highs. 69,000. 69,000? Did it set all-time highs? Holy shit. Wasn't even paying attention. Look at that. So that, I mean, that also makes sense that it's going to start to recheck, right, guys? I mean, the halving is coming up, but if that's the all-time high and that's the wick, it came back up, it filled in that wick, and it rejected. So maybe we can start to see some sort of retracement because it has been very bullish, and at least get back down into this area where there's sellers, right? There's that candle right there. So let's see if we can't get a drop back down into the low 50s, 50,000 mark before we start to buy back up on that. And then on Ethereum is pushing as well. Did not hit the stop loss on that. I did not take that trade though. I have that in like real money and I just buy. I did sell a little bit of it the other day. I just put that mark there so I kind of knew where I sold it at. And yeah, so Ethereum is pushing up, but I think it's starting to reject, which is rejecting off of this area here. So again, let's see if we can't get these dice to come down a little bit more. I'm super excited that the Solana world, that some of the smaller cryptos are really starting to pump up because I own a bunch of those. So Solana is now sitting there. If we come back down, let's say the 4-hour or the 2-hour, I'd like to see Solana do exactly what it just did. That's why my green box is there. And that would be the area for, we're actually trying to look for buys down in here. Let's come to the 4-hour. All right. So there's the green liquidity box, and it basically support turn and resistance. Vice versa, resistance, turn and support. It broke through, it'll come back up, double tap, and then gone. That's what it looks like it's doing. And if we fib that, we're getting pretty close. Actually, I probably would want to fib it from there because that's where it broke out. That's where the move truly started, and it's right on the 78.6. So that makes sense. Cardano, love to see Cardano go. I have a bunch of Cardano. So I'd really like to see that pop off. And it did pretty much the same thing Solana did. Come back in, retest the order block, and push back off, which is good to go for me. Happy, happy, happy. Dot did the same thing. Look, all the charts look the same. Big sell off to come grab that liquidity to come back to a structural support area and then go. Because, I mean, look at this structural area right there, 50% gone. Actually, it's not really the 50%. There it is right there. So these all look the same. Come back into these structural areas and go. Okay, guys, that's the video tonight. I really do appreciate you guys stopping by. I appreciate you guys liking the video, sharing the video, commenting, helping me build a YouTube channel by subscribing. I don't have any paid services, no signals, no paid Discord, no training, none of that stuff. If you guys help me out by liking the video and subscribing to the video, YouTube will start to pay me, and that's how we could do these things, right? So I do appreciate that. Help me with the algorithms, all right, guys? Tomorrow morning, looking to trade, so you'll be seeing a link. Before we go, look, news. All right, Wednesday, we've got good news coming out, and the Powell speaking tomorrow. So expect some volatility, and that's going right in NFP. Okay. Also, in the comments, you'll see my dot card. And if you click on the link dot card, you'll go to my YouTube, which you're here now. But there's my trading Twitter. There's my trading Instagram. The funded company that I use, I suggest you use, is right here. There's the Carbon Capital is one of the brokers that I use, the one I use the most. And there's a couple of Discords and a Telegram link if you want to get into a community with some other traders and learn. Please check those out. Those are not mine, but I am associated with them. I'm in them, and I know the people who do own them, whatnot. So thanks, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Again, please subscribe and like.